pre-record your sets, or are you live set every time?
Every time.
That
takes the fun out of it. I mean, if I pre-record it, I mean, I'm going in, I'm jumping in the crowd, I'm partying too, you know.
Right.
But I think for me, it's the experience. I want people to feel an experience. I want people to feel a vibe, and I want people to feel a vibe and just like see me in action. Because there's way more energy that I'm putting out when I'm doing it live rather than, you know, a pre-recorded set. And there's DJs that do that, and I just don't understand, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, how? Like,
Kind of takes out being out of the moment. And being a DJ, like you said, being a DJ is part of it's being in the moment, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Rock and roll, guys. All right, here we go. Let's party. Nice, man. Well, good to see you again.
You as well.
What's up, man?
How's your day going?
It's going good, man. Just, a lot of stuff going on today. You know, a lot of planning, a lot of prepping, and, just getting ready to rock and roll for tonight's show.
Yeah, so for those of our audience that don't know you, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your story.
So my name is Rashad. Local DJ here in Boise, Idaho, originally from Maryland. I'm a military brat, so I've been literally all over the world. And I've been here for about, I want to say, 9 years? People always ask, you know, why you here so long? And it's just a simple fact that growing up, I mean, we moved every 2 to 6 years until I graduated high school. So just to find somewhere and not be obligated, living with family, to move when they move, you know, it's just been nice to, you know, kind of settle and not have to worry about moving. So, yeah, my background, my people from Trinidad and Tobago, so I got some Caribbean blood in me.
Nice.
Or not some, like all Caribbean blood in me. And yeah, I've been out here doing it. Moved here from Montana 2014. Graduated school, went to Montana Western. And then, I've been here ever since.
Do you have family that lives here?
No. Yeah, so I haven't lived with them since 2008, after I graduated high school. And then the last place we were was Virginia. And then I went to college. I was there for like 6 years, played ball, got my degree, and they live in Texas, El Paso. And then my grandma, and my aunt, they still live back in Maryland. Yeah, so a little spread out all over.
What part of Maryland?
PG County.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I think Northeast DC. Yeah, right, literally my backyard.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was nice. They call it the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. So yeah, if you ever meet somebody from there.
I was born in Virginia.
Oh, nice. What part?
Newport News.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was actually born in Hampton, same as Newport News, but that whole area, nice. Northern Virginia.
Heck yeah.
What'd you get your degree in?
Health science.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so my whole thing was, I mean, I was active, you know, I was super fit, played football, and I wanted to be a trainer, and I ended up getting an internship. We had just started a cheerleading squad at the school, and I ended up working out the cheerleaders. And it was super, super fun, and then after that, everybody knew me in the community. It was a small town. And so I just started putting it out there to train kids. And I started training kids. And then I got into sales and haven't looked back.
Oh, wow. What kind of sales?
Man, I've had so many jobs.
Really?
Sold anywhere from sneakers, jewelry, RVs, cars. And now I'm selling myself, you know?
Yeah. So how long have you been a DJ?
DJ, I'd say 2019 was the start. So I started off as a photographer, and I used to take pictures all over. Some friend of mine, Rose, she gave me her camera, and all that thing was a tap to my back. And I would take it out downtown and just capture moments. And then I had a couple friends, and they were DJing on Sundays, and I would go and take pictures of them. And then I just started getting more and more intrigued by the DJing. And then one of my buddies, I started going over his house, started messing around on this controller, and I ended up buying my own controller and practicing and really going in on it. It was fun. The practicing was even better. It was just like, there's just so much stuff you have to learn, and you always... It's a shock, you know, when you transition a song or this song goes well with this song, like the meshes and the mashes. So it was super, super intriguing. I've always been into music, which is crazy that I didn't pick it up sooner.
Yeah.
I have my uncle DJs, one of my best friends. I won't necessarily say best friend, but a good friend of mine growing up. He's like a big international DJ now. He goes all over the world, and you know that's somebody I look up to. But with my people being from Trinidad, we grew up Baptist, and so my grandma has a church in her basement. It's not big. It's like a big enough room, but people would pack the house out. It was almost like felt culty.
Right.
Looking outside and you see all these women come and everybody's wearing dresses and head wraps. It's just like, what's going on over there, And we'll spend hours in church. And one of the main instruments that I played was the djembe, bongos, and congos. So that was kind of the start of music for me. And I was on the marching band in high school, which was really funny story about that. I actually got bullied in high school.
No way.
And so for me not to ride the bus and deal with my bully, I just joined the marching band, and then I just stayed after school for long periods of time. And it was honestly the best time I've ever had in my life.
No
being
way.
in the marching band.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Especially on like the East Coast. Like if you go East Coast down south, like I think the band scene, it's way more popular than sports.
Than sports?
Yeah. In terms
like
of
drumline type stuff?
1000%.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
like-
so cool.
Like everything on the radio now that you hear, like Lil Uzi, like I Just Want to Rock, that's like a club banger. Like, oh, we're rehearsing that, we're playing that at the next football game at halftime type stuff.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
so
badass.
whatever was popular, pop in, and then you get back into like the PYTs by Michael Jackson. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Dang. All right. So it's always music's always been in your blood.
It honestly, yeah.
And then just comes back full circle.
I know, yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Man, one thing that I love about you is your variety in music that you can play. Like you can play different shows. Like you could be at a house club, right, playing music, and then the next night do a hip hop show set, or like playing at weddings. I've heard him at a wedding. I believe a couple of years back, and like it was like, dude, killed it at everything. So do you listen to all genres of music all the time to be able to do that, or is it just something that comes easily? How does all that work out?
Yes, I'll say yes. It's just I fall in these rabbit holes. So for me, I have a particular sound. And the thing about me is I want to separate myself from any and every other DJ out here. So whatever, is the most popular or the top 40s, I stay away from that unless it's like a certain song that is, a banger is going to bring the house down or whatever the case may be. But I like to pride myself on being unique. I'll search a song. Like right now, my favorite genre is like UK rap, UK garage, everything UK, like literally in love with it. I just like the culture, I like the style, I like the way they have fun. And, that's what motivated, my show tonight called Mushroom is because of Boiler Room. And I couldn't use Boiler Room.
Boiler Room, the
I-
movie?
No.
The club.
Band?
Like in the UK, they have these DJ scenes
Yeah.
where they set up a DJ right in the middle of the club or warehouse, and then people surround them, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
People surround them, and it's just one person playing in the middle. You got a whole bunch of people behind you, side of you, in front of you, just like
Boiler Room. Yeah, it's a big club. Kevin was just there not that long ago. It looks sick. It's massive though, right?
Yeah, it is, and they move all over the place. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely want something like that for what I got going on, but I'm cool where I'm at right now.
Nice.
And it's still, a lot of people to follow and a lot of people to gain your trust and respect as well as a DJ,
For sure.
My favorite house music comes out of the UK. Gorgon City's by far my favorite. I've probably seen them, 12, 13 times.
Yeah.
They're amazing. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I
But
don't think so. I'll definitely have to look that up.
yeah,
man.
check them out.
Yeah.
Gorgon City, man, the best.
When you're like finding two songs to mix together, do the tempos have to be the same? Like, because have you ever heard of the Grey album? Jay-Z, the Gray album,
Yeah,
where he
yeah,
mixed
yeah.
like the Beatles White album with the Black album?
Yeah.
So do like the tempos have to be the same?
For the most part, I mean, for me, I like it because it just depends on, it's all flow, right? So if you have a group of people and everybody's dancing, you don't want the next song that you play be a different tempo, and then everybody stops and they kind of look around and then they get the groove back. You know, you just want to
Right.
keep it a consistent flow. So yeah, with that, I usually go by BPMs, beats per minute, and so I think a lot of the music I play is like 115 to goes anywhere up to like 150 now, and I just got into some of that with like this drum and bass, like UK type vibe. Yeah, so it just kind of depends. If the tempos are off, then let's say this song is getting ready to end. What I do, I just hop on the mic and then I talk to him a little bit. Thank you for coming out. Hey, make sure you tip your bartenders. Or my name is Rakeem. Thank y'all for coming out. And then boom, then you hit them because they already stopped.
Right.
You know? They're at a standstill,
So you
they're
can
watching,
change
they're
the
listening.
tempo
Yeah.
or the
And you control.
smart, nice. Yeah, that's a break in the tempo, so you can reset them. Do you find that with music, like you are in control of the vibe? So you're manipulating people with sound.
Absolutely.
That's
and
sick.
I've always, my ex, she was a witch, and I used to call myself a warlock. And I literally feel the same way because, especially with certain stuff that I play, there's a genre that I play called Afro-Latin, and I'm a piano. And what's nice about that is it has like natural djembes, congos, bongos, but it has a house beat on it. And so for me, like tapping back into where I'm from and where I've grown up, it's just like, it just feels like I'm casting a spell.
Totally.
Yeah. And like people are moving to what I play. I'm the controller, you know, I'm in charge. And I don't think a lot of people like realize that about DJing. Like this is my show, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you get a lot of requests, and if the request makes sense, cool, I'll play it. If it don't,
Can you play
I
some
got you.
Beyonce?
I'm like, I got you, and I just never play it.
Yeah, they're gonna forget anyway.
And then- and
especially
then
if they're intoxicated.
Exactly. And then they forget, and then it depends on the set that you play. If you're playing a really dope set, they're just like, they forget that they asked for requests. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, well, I like what you're doing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you build together like a set list,
Yeah, so I'll,
like tonight,
yeah. I
fully
got it.
fledged.
Yeah, and this has been a playlist that I've been working on for, I'd say with this music, I've probably been working on this playlist for about a year and a half or so. So it's just I'm always adding. I'm always adding because I play a lot of different events, a lot of different venues around town. So it's just like, I don't want to get tired of my own music, and I don't want other people to get tired of what I'm playing too. You know, I want to give them something new. As a DJ, we're supposed to introduce people to new music. You know what I mean? And, you know, I definitely take pride in that for sure. It's just kind of tough sometimes because it's like, you'll play something, but people don't know it, or they don't know the words, but they like the beat, but they don't really know how to feel or be, you know? But then I play something that everybody knows. Now you may have a little bit more of a turn up rather than, oh, what's this? Dang, I like this. You know what I mean? So it's just...
Do you pre-record your sets, or are you live set every time?
Every time.
Live set.
That takes the fun out of it. I mean, if I pre-record it, I mean, I'm going in, I'm jumping in the crowd, I'm partying too, you know.
Right.
But I think for me, it's the experience. I want people to feel an experience. I want people to feel a vibe, and I want people to feel a vibe and just like see me in action. Because there's way more energy that I'm putting out when I'm doing it live rather than, you know, a pre-recorded set. And there's DJs that do that, and I just don't understand, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, how? Like,
Kind of takes that being out of the moment, and being a DJ, like you said, being a DJ is part of it's being in the moment. It sounds like.
Absolutely.
So it's tonight the first time you've played this set list live?
I played it. So this is my show's called Mushroom. So I took the name, stemmed it off of Boiler Room. I was doing shrooms, and I came up with the name, and I was like, this makes sense. So I kind of like flipped it, so it wasn't like too much like, oh, mushrooms, there's gonna be drugs there, this, that, and the third. So another definition that I got was just it's a mush. It's a mush of people. It's a mush of sounds all together and run under one roof. And so I've done this 5 times now. The first time I ever did mushroom, which was at the LED building. Shout out Andrew and Lauren, big brother, big sister. And I played the Afro Latin set, and it went really, really well. And I didn't necessarily know how people would react, but I know that I liked it,
Right.
you know. And I have an ear for music, and I like different. Like I said, when I'm playing stuff, I want people to be like, yo, this is his sound. This is a Rakim set.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I did that. What was that, like 5 months ago? I've been doing these once a month. So 5 months ago, and I played that set at Connections Music Festival. Shout out Sam Kisse. And so I'm gonna bring it back. I downloaded a lot more songs, found some other songs, and I'm gonna play it tonight. I don't know yet. I never know when I'm gonna play until it's literally go time.
Oh, really?
And, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Cause like I look around, I see, you know, how many people are there, how many people do I know, how many people have heard this set. You know, sometimes it's just like, oh well, people forget half the time, you know, but I don't want to like oversaturate people with the same sound. Yeah.
So practice for you, like when you're at home, the practice is really like the merging of the songs, or
Yeah, merging of the songs, using my effects like my echoes or the trans or talking on the mic, you know, just becoming familiar, you know, always knowing what to say. And I used to hate talking on the mic, and then people were just like, you should talk on the mic more. Like, you have a good voice. And I was like, I hate my voice. I think a lot of people would say that.
For sure.
But no, it's just practicing to do that. And yeah, just downloading these songs, not necessarily knowing how they'll fit, where they'll fit, but I like to play my stuff based off BPM and key. So BPM, I go from lowest to highest, and then you have keys. So with the keys, it's like, so you can have 2 songs back to back. They're both like 1A, and then the third song is like 4 something. And the 2, they'll all go together perfect, but the 2 that are 1A just flow a little bit better as to, you know, the one that's 4. It won't be off, but you can definitely hear and feel a change.
you mean the key, like a G note, or oh, really? Okay, wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So each song is going to have a familiar key to it. So if it's in a G, you're playing a G after another. That's pretty cool too. All right.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's an art.
Yeah. Somebody referenced it. They said DJing is like playing Tetris on level 10.
Yeah, right. Especially like if you had no idea about effects. So if you're playing with effects too.
So it's like, yeah, if I'm playing a song and I'm ready to get out and go to the next song, and then you have, so I'll just use the echo for example. So I love the echo, and then so there's like a fourth, there's a half, and so with the half, you know, you turn on that effect for this song, and it'll fade out like do 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 do, and then boom, you bring in the next song, just
Nice.
right on cue. Yeah, it's a lot
For sure.
It's a lot,
And you have to be aware, and you have to really be in the moment.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
wild. You brought up mushrooms. What's your experience with mushrooms?
I love mushrooms.
When was the first time you did it?
I'd say probably like a year and a half ago. Maybe,
Oh, really?
Maybe 2. So I got in some trouble in a previous.
Do you need some water?
Oh no, we're good.
Okay.
I got in some trouble in a previous relationship, and I was on probation for 2 years. So as of March 17th, I just got off of like supervised probation. So for that entire year, I wasn't able to do anything. And then I was getting text messages 5 a.m. every day telling me whether I could go pee or not and go test. And so the one thing that never showed up was mushrooms. And so when me going out, everybody else is drunk or this, that, and the third, and I'm over there just tripping on mushrooms. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And so my ex, we would do mushrooms, and we just kick it in the house. And that wasn't what I wanted to do. You know, it was cool. then we went to Freak Alley one day, and I was like, oh, yeah, I need to be outside more. And so a lot of people are always just like, I don't know how you could do that and be out. I was just like, you just do it and you be out. And one thing about mushrooms that I found out, you have to set your intentions too.
Always.
Yeah, before you take it. I think that's why people have bad trips.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah.
Have you ever had like what they call like an ego death?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
I
like
don't think so yet.
just like a total mind melt, like you're traveling in your mind in other dimensions and stuff like that?
I would say the one time I had an ego death was when I did DMT.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean by smoked it?
Yeah. So
Really?
I had
Yeah.
a friend. Yeah, I was in. It was crazy because it was just in like this pen.
Yep.
And this guy I worked with, he like makes it. Super smart dude, and just he makes it. And so one of my friends, he took me out. We was in the parking lot at my job on break. We got like an hour break, and he was just like, "Hey, you want to try DMT?" And I was like, "Yeah," because he's been talking it up. So we went to the car. He put this thing on my head. He made me hit the pen. And then it was kind of like I didn't black out, but it was just like, okay. And everything was dark. And that's when my trip was.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was freaking out.
Hell yeah. You
was
did it on your
freaking-
lunch break in a
On lunch.
car.
Yo.
Talk about setting intentions. Like, dude, that's a fucking...
And I didn't know nothing about setting
Yeah.
intentions or anything about like psychedelics like that. I just know I always wanted to try it, you know. And I mean, mushrooms have definitely been my favorite. I hate eating them, you know. They're the worst. So I found out about chocolates too, and though that's the way to go. Or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Dang.
Yeah.
How do you think that like doing psychedelics, like how do you think it's changed your life at all?
Oh, a lot more understanding, being more affectionate, more compassionate, more loving, and kind of seeing the true beauty in the world, to be honest, because I love the realm that I'm in when I'm on mushrooms. Like everything and everyone, I just believe is just beautiful. And just to look outside, look at the trees, look at the grass, and just watch everything work in unison and just be, you know? And yeah, that's one of the reasons I love it. I love the feeling that it gives me. I feel like it's like controlled anxiety. So yeah.
You talked about intention earlier, and one thing that I've noticed is when you eat it out in public, like you can see people differently. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you get to know them better, and you get to know their intentions.
Yep.
Is that why you like to do it out in public?
I say I like to do that. It was for me. It was the simple fact that I couldn't drink, I couldn't smoke, I couldn't do anything. And that was the only thing, you know, that I could do. So that was like the first start of it. So I'll say yes, because eventually when I started seeing people, when I started hanging with people and listening and me talking, you know, just the things that I was saying, like it just felt like good. It felt proper. Yeah.
When you first smoked DMT, like you fully broke through, did you see like a lady or you felt a feminine presence?
So the first time, no. But the second time, I did it like a week later in the same guy in his garage, and he just blacked out the garage, and I did it. And all I remember is I like took off, and it was like just dark, right? And right in front of me, there's just a speck of light. I just like, I just remember kind of just sitting there, and I was floating, but I was like gravitating towards the light. And then as the light got closer, it started like breaking up into other little lights, but this one was still the brightest that I was headed to. So it's kind of like looking at like glitter all around you or just blasting off into space. And so there was one point as I was getting closer, I hit something and it just like sucked me through. And so I'm just like, oh. And right when I get up to the brightest light, it was a figure. And then so I got close, and then I was going like super fast at it. It got close, and then I just kind of stopped, and I was just floating. And then this figure like slowly turns around, right? Slowly turns around, and it was Ganesha.
Oh, no way.
I was I started freaking out, not gonna lie. And then all I saw was her put her hand out like this for me to like grab, and then I freaked out and woke up. And like to this day, I'm just like, what if I would have just grabbed her hand?
Yeah.
What would have happened? You know what I mean?
You haven't done it since?
Nope.
Out of fear or?
a little bit.
Yeah, because it's you leave, you're gone, you're in another dimension for sure. And like you said, like what would happen if you take its hand? Yeah, I mean that's when you really get to go into the kaleidoscope.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I must have skipped that part because I never saw anybody, but I went like where everything was like building lots of shapes, but everything was black and it was all like kaleidoscope, like you said, you know, like I was like going upstairs and stuff like that. And there was like statues everywhere, but I didn't see any, you know, ladies.
Yeah. I mean, every time I've done it, it's a very feminine presence for sure. I've smoked it a couple of times where very strong, but I went to Peru and drank ayahuasca. And, I mean, that's 8 hours of that's of the same thing, you know. So it's wild.
That's like 8 hours of. I mean, from what I've heard, it can either. Actually, no. I hear it tears people up. How was your experience?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, every time.
Nice.
So good. But like you're saying, like intention. I guess because when I first started doing psychedelics, I think one thing I learned real quick was how to let go. Like if you just let go and let it take you, surrender, don't try to control it. And another thing that always grounds me is breathing. I'm just always, hey, as long as I'm breathing, then I know I'm all right. Like that's what kind of tethers me to this reality, because I'm very sensitive. Like if I take, you know, any sort of mushrooms, like I always have an urge, because I'm big on, I just go do them alone. I go do them, I go lay in bed, I close my eye. I'm going on an inward journey. And I'm so sensitive that it's always like, oh, motherfucker, you need to go late. You know what you did. You know the ticket. But you just, the ride you're trying to go on here.
Yeah. I like that what you say about, you know, you're sensitive. And that's one thing that, so I'm a Scorpio, and everybody always like, oh, you're this, you're that, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not that type of Scorpio. Like I'm in tune with myself, you know. And mushrooms made me emotional. It made me be okay crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always, especially as men, we got to be so tough and this, that, and the third. And it was just like, all I needed was a good cry.
Right. Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a great point. Yeah. How many men, because we are told to not feel our feelings or to repress our feelings, you know, man, yeah, how many guys out there just need a fucking good cry? Yeah. Dang, that's powerful.
Absolutely.
And do you think like it was like specific experiences in your trips that that you know made you aware of your emotional side, or what exactly do you think it was that kind of turned that part of you on?
It was like, not to keep bringing her up, but my ex.
Yeah.
I mean, she's helped me heal a lot, you know, in that relationship. So unfortunately we didn't work out, but still there was a ton that I learned from her. And we would go on these trips and literally like just cry together, you know, or like cry in happiness, or if we were sad about something and we console one another. And so like every time that I would cry, it just felt so good. It was like, it was just such a release. Like the weight on my shoulders literally just fell off. And, you know, you try to keep everything, you know, pent up and built up and, oh, I can do this myself. I don't need help. Like, I'm tough. I'll get past it. Like sometimes, no, I'm not tough. No, I can't get past it, you know, and it just used to mess me up. But then crying, you know, it made me feel good. It made me feel vulnerable, open and honest as well, you know, to even talk about that in this setting too. Like, I have no problem with it, you know. Before, maybe I would have kept that out, but like, it's a part of what I was to like who I am now. So definitely helpful.
I mean, when you brought, because like in the, you know, they talk about purging. You know, when you do ayahuasca, most people, you know, they're going to throw up or they're going to shit their pants.
Yeah.
Like that's the purging, but also another crying. That's purging. The purpose of the purging is to eliminate the emotion. So, you know, people are holding on to so much shit, emotional shit, that's how their body's purging. And so that's such a great analogy is, crying too, is because we have these experiences and we have emotional experiences, and if we don't have a good way to eliminate them or release them, they're stored in our body.
Yep.
And so how many guys and women are walking around with all this stored emotional energy and not know, like feeling the anxiety, feeling the depression, feeling the anger, feeling whatever they're feeling, not knowing that it's really the result of all these years of fucking... Can you imagine, like, if you had to go to a job every day that you hated, you didn't like your boss, so every day you're in a constant state of like anger or resentment or whatever, and you're just storing that shit every day. Or you're in a relationship where you're not really into your partner, but you feel stuck, you feel like you're in too deep, and you're just, you get home from wherever, and in your mind, because that's where resentment starts, is in our mind, we're talking shit about the other person. We're not expressing our emotions. We're not expressing how we really feel. We're just building up these data banks in our mind and in our body, when really it's just about having an effective way of purging out that energy. Because I've been, in fact, it's calling me so much recently. Like, I need to go have an ego death. Mm-hmm. Like, my back, like my flexibility has diminished significantly over the last year. And in yoga, they talk about how they determine health. One way is flexibility, because that stiffness is, again, it's energy that's stored up. And so, man, when I'm noticing that and now having this conversation, like, yeah, the jungle or ayahuasca mushrooms calling me to just purge that energy, defrag the computer,
Absolutely. And it's a lot of that stored up too. What people don't realize too, it's it comes with injuries. It comes with dis-ease.
Bingo.
It's all of that. You
yeah.
know?
Well, one thing that I recognize that you said is that the old you wouldn't have, told or maybe talked about it or brought about it, or talked about it or brought it up. But me, myself, like, it's weird once you hit that ego death, right? Like, you then can be more honest with not only yourself, but other people about like the experiences that you've been through. And so, that's one thing that psychedelics has helped me a lot with, is just being who I am, the real me, instead of this character that I created as a kid to be tough and stuff like that, which, I'm sure you were in the same boat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because being tough in this world is, again, not showing your emotions, being ashamed and just bottling it up. And like you said, just keep that costume on of the tough guy. Nothing affects me, nothing hurts me, but really inside you're a fucking wreck.
Yeah. Damn, man, that was awesome.
Oh, that's incredible, man. That's cool.
Well, what's the future look like? Is this the end game, DJing forever? Or?
I mean, I wouldn't say forever, but eventually, I mean, I've realized, with a lot of the events I've done, like, I'm good at throwing parties. I'm good at throwing events and stuff. Yeah. So for right now, I mean, in the next 3 to 5 years, I'm giving myself a timeline, or if it comes sooner, then I'm out. But I really want to spend some time in the UK. I really want to branch out. I want to travel the world, especially with the like Afro-Latin stuff that I play. I want to be in the jungle playing this stuff. It hits so much different. And when I'm doing this stuff inside, like, I not necessarily black out, but that's where I'm at. That's where I think about, I'm in the jungle, or I'm by the beach and I'm playing this music with high vibrations, so I want to travel. I want to DJ for as long as I can. I want to get in rooms. I want to collab with other artists, and I just want to be known for my sound, my energy, and just me.
Do you know what a cenote is?
I do not.
It's a massive hole in the ground. They have a ton of them down in Mexico. And it's, I think somehow it's linked to the ocean, but there's like 80 feet of water. But it's in the middle of the jungles of Mexico. They have them like Tulum, Cancun, Puerto Vallarta. But dude, you should go down there one of the most fun parties I ever went to was at a cenote in the middle of the jungle. And this guy was fucking DJing. We were drinking margaritas, like swinging from ropes into the cenote and stuff, dude. And I could see you playing it right now, man. It would be sick. You got to set up a cenote party for sure.
That'd be dope.
You haven't done any shows outside of Boise, really?
Yeah. So I went to. I don't necessarily. I went to Atlanta once, but it wasn't necessarily a show. It could have turned into a show. I was like down there for an interview with this rapper, but it didn't work out. But I got down to Salt Lake quite a bit. I was beginning of the summer. I was going like I say end of last summer. I was going down there until I was there last weekend. Yeah, once a month. And I don't know if y'all know who Joshy Soul is. Mm-mm. You ever heard? So he's this artist out of Salt Lake. He's from LA. So he has a band, and I met them Shreveport maybe like 4 years ago or so. And then from then, we've been connected. And they came to a couple of my sets here, and I was playing Amapiano, which is a different genre based out of South Africa. But he was liking it. He was like, dude, we got to get you down to Salt Lake. And so he went down there and got in contact with this bar called The Alibi. And it's just small, like, intimate bar. It's like
right on State.
Yeah, my favorite, hands down, because first, like, age-wise, it's like, 25 and up. And then it's just like, everybody's just so beautiful, and it's just so connected. And it almost feels like a boiler room because you're just in this corner. But so many people are packed in there. And so they started liking what I was doing. So they booked me like once or twice a month. I traveled down to Salt Lake, kicked with everybody. We did some stuff out, and they have this alley behind a shoe store called Feist. And it's kind of like a freak alley, but smaller. They always would do DJ sets out there. And it was really, really dope. And a lot of my creativity stems from my friends in Salt Lake, to be honest. I've done several events. When all the protests were going on in 2020, we were going down to Salt Lake. They did what is called a dance protest. So they would get these speakers put in the back of a pickup truck. They'd have a DJ DJing out of the truck. And there was just a whole bunch of people just dancing down the street, around the block, and it was a pretty long route.
Wow.
But the music, it was just loud, it was vibrant, and it was beautiful. And so I saw that down there, and I was like, like, what can I do? So I coordinated everything, got with the community, and we did the same thing down in Hyde Park. We started at Camel's Back. We went all the way through the neighborhoods. I think it was like a 1.5 mile protest. And we came all the way back around, went straight up 13th, right in front of Perea and all that. And it was just cool because it was like right when things were opening. So people hear us coming down the street and everybody just coming out the restaurants, just kind of like looking. And we stopped right there on the corner by 13th. And we just partied. And that was dope. And then the whole Freak Alley thing, I did an event there, which was super, super dope. Just set up some speakers with some friends. We were out there, light show, everything, and just kind of did it different. And that's what I want to, if there's anything that I could bring, to the city of Boise, is I want to be the vibe. I want to be a vibe. I want to give people an option of something to do and something different. And I always used to complain about this not happening here. Like, dang, Salt Lake does this. This place does this. Dang, Boise will never do this. And I just got tired of saying that. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
That's badass.
So
if anybody's
badass.
going to do it, I'm going to do it because I know that if somebody else did do it and I didn't act on that, I'd be like, damn, I could have did that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that should have been me. And I would have been just in my head or like being dumb about it. But yeah, I'm just in that space and I just want to create.
Nice.
Always.
Man. Yeah, that's badass.
How old are you?
33.
33.
Yeah.
Do you are you mindful of like how quickly like everything is changing? Like, politically, economically, socially, any of that type of stuff?
Yeah. And I feel like we have to be. I mean, because it's like, or maybe not. But you just have to be aware at least.
Well, sounds like with the protests, and then you said you did the 2 shows with the mayor. Or 3 shows with the mayor.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was just in the presence. So one was Tree Fort,
right.
And she came to an event, and like she didn't necessarily say anything. She just like waved, and then the skate park, and then she came up and we were just talking. Got a few pictures of her. Then I told her, "Hey, push this button. Look, make it look like you're DJing. When I'm gonna fade out of this song, as soon as I do that, push this." Yeah, so she did that, and then the Soul Food Festival. I saw her again, and like she remembered me, and she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "You gonna DJ again today?" You know, she's just cool, and she's so tiny too, but she's pretty cool lady. You know, didn't get into anything deeper than that, but it was just, you know, maybe that's for the next time we see each other. Sure. That type of conversation, like, all right, I'm seeing you everywhere. I need to know you a little bit more. You know. So. And I got these parking tickets.
Oh my God. That's awesome. Nice. Besides music, like what are some of your other passions?
Like that's been my main focus, which is music, fashion.
Yeah, you're always a fashionable guy.
Yeah.
Where does one buy it? Where do you get all the clothes? You always got like
shop.
Oh
nice.
yeah.
Honestly, I said this to somebody the other day, and I was like, I can get literally a $2 outfit and make it look like $1,000 outfit.
100%.
And it's just literally how you wear it. And like for me, I thrift shop so much. Some people don't like it. It's like, oh, this is gonna take up too much time. I've gotten so good at it. It's like I can go to a rack and just and just sort through it, and I always know what I'm looking for. You know, just something that fits me. So I don't spend a ton of time in there. It's just like, all right, I know what I'm looking for. I know where the men's section is or the electronics, whatever sticks out to me. You know, and I'm a quick gazer too. I'm just like, yeah. So it's super easy for me. So yeah, I like to create different looks, different styles. I feel like everything that I wear is like a representation of like how I'm feeling, you know. So yeah, if it's colorful, you know, it's a very vibrant feeling. If it's like all black, it's more of a stone feeling, but still it's sleek, you know. I would say, I used to say, oh shoot, I forgot what I used to say. I haven't said it. So complicated yet simple.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're really big on expressing yourself.
For sure. Yeah.
Through fashion, through music. Have you always been like that?
I kinda, sorta. I think like within the past 2 years with the relationship and the mushrooms and just a lot of the healing that I've been doing, you know. I listen to people like Charlemagne the God. He has a book called Shook Ones, Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me. Jay Shetty, Think Like a Monk. Things like that kind of just got me out of my comfort zone, you know. And another one, his name is Humble the Poet. And what is his book? It's 101 Simple Truths to Living a Better Life. So it's like unlearning a lot of the stuff that we grew up and may have been like not necessarily brainwashed, but brainwashed, you know, and then relearning everything, you know. So
man, we think that very much so, you know. We got boycott the dollar, you know. We're trying to get people to buy crypto, which brings me to my next question. You buying crypto and stuff like that?
You know, I'm not. I have, I think, some Bitcoin in Cash App, just kicking it right now. And I mean, when 2020 hit, that's when like my world changed in terms of wanting to learn and hearing and reading more, you know, because at that point, and I feel like a lot of people took it for granted because no other time in history has the whole world stood still,
right?
You know, didn't have anything to do. And so that's where I was learning all this stuff, but it was just a little too complicated for me. But you know, I follow pages. I hear your guys' stuff all the time. So I try to follow as best as possible. So yeah, it just hasn't been something that I'm necessarily like all in yet, but I get it. You know, I get it. I get exactly where everything is headed, and I want to be prepared, honestly, because the way things are going, like, got me a little shooken up. Like, it's just like, yo, I want to be prepared, you know. So
yeah, that's interesting you say about 2020 and using, you know, yourself as an example, is that really woke a lot of people up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to do the work that you've been doing, the healing work, like that, the transitional, transformative work, You know, a lot of people have come online and started really getting into that. You know, 2020 was a big catalyst for all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you know, of all the places that you moved to and lived growing up, where would you say is like the most impactful?
I'd definitely say here, for sure.
You came here as a result of the military?
No, just I went to school in Montana for 6 years. After I graduated, I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do, and I was just in Dillon, Montana, like, yo, what's the next move? And then one of my best friends, him and his parents were living up here, and they had mentioned it before that they were gonna come down and get me and bring me to Boise, and I turned it down at first, and then I just caught myself in this small town, like one of 5 black people, and I don't know. It was just it wasn't uncomfortable. It was just like, this is not where I want to be. And so like a month or 2 later, I told them like, yo, let's do it. And so they drove down, got me, brought me up here. I was living in his parents' house with him in a 3-bedroom townhouse. Both of us in the same room. His bed this way, my bed this way.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And we were just always out. So we weren't necessarily home all the time. So it wasn't like, oh, now that I look back on it, it's just like, all right, it wasn't that bad. You know? And
You'd never come to visit or anything? You just...
I mean, when I was playing football, I came here and we like practiced on the field. When we were going through to one of our games, we do like a walkthrough, and that was it. And we came for like a church like convention as well. And we walked downtown, and I was just like, okay, this is kind of cool, but yeah, I didn't know anything about Boise. Came here kind of blinded.
Wow.
Yeah.
One thing that I usually notice, like I always remember how I meet people, and you're one of the very few people that I just can't remember how I officially met you the first time.
Can I tell you this story?
Yeah,
I'll tell you how we met.
Oh.
I love this. So there was one night you was with one of your. It was. I don't know who it was.
Okay.
It was a girl though.
Yeah.
And it was like an ex. But this was like 4 or 5 years ago or so, maybe 6. It might have been a longer time than that. But we was at Pie Hole, and we were chilling. We were in line, and there was this dude, and he was like cutting in line, and you was just like, "Hey man, the line's back here." And he was with a girl, and like he just puffed up his chest. He was just like, "Yeah, fuck off," or something like that. Oh, sorry, I don't know if we can.
You're
curse
good.
on that.
No, for sure.
And then he was just like talking a lot of shit to you, and you turned around and you were like walking away. You're just like, all right. And I just seen you was right in front of me, and then the dude, he was drunk and he got hot headed again, and he just kept yapping, and then you turned around and he got like right here, and yo. I ain't never seen somebody get pushed so hard. And this dude was big. He was like your size, maybe a little bit bigger. And bro, you just boom pushed him. He went flying. He was on the floor, and he got up, and he was just like, yo, he was shocked, and he was checked instantly.
Wow.
And then and that was the first time. And then I was right behind you. I was like, hey, my name is Rashad. Nice to meet you. I was like, okay, this is my guy. Yeah, but it wasn't even like you were doing anything. You were like honestly protecting you, and low key, like whether you thought so or not, like everybody around you, because this dude was just being loud and just reckless, and you literally put him in his place. And yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that because now I remember. Yeah, it definitely rings a bell. But what I remember is he was like yelling at some girl with tattoos to cover up. He was Bosnian, and my brother-in-law's Bosnian, so I'm guessing he was probably Muslim. And he was yelling at this girl to cover up because she had like cut off shirt on. And I just told him to like mind his own business, like leave her alone. And then she asked the girl that worked at Pie Hole, because he was being a dick to her, if she could light up a cigarette. And she was like, oh, yeah, cool, you know, because, dude, this guy was being a dick to, me. I remember that in the line. He was being a dick to everybody. Mm-hmm. And then she lit up her cigarette, and he started freaking out again. And I was just like, dude, if you get up, I'm going to fuck you up. And then he got up in my face. And I don't think I pushed him. I think I slapped him in the face.
No, It might have, but I just remember, bro. You shoved him so hard.
Yeah.
Like if that was me, my ass would have flew. Like, and the fact that he had more like mass to him, like he still was like he just woke up, like he just got, like he was like, what just happened?
Yeah, I think I slapped him.
He sobered up real quick.
Yeah, hell yeah, I bet. Yeah, he got checked.
No, for sure.
He's like, I'm done. Yeah, wow.
No, because he got up, he didn't say anything. He just like looked, and he was just like looking around, like all the shit he was talking. Nothing else came out of his mouth. And then the girl he was with was just like, let's go, and they just like walked away.
Damn,
yeah.
That's a wild story of meeting, huh?
Yeah, damn, I can't believe I forgot that.
Then just party and sense.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And there's a couple times that I remember running into, obviously Silly Birch a few times. I remember you said it was like your birthday or something like that, and I had some mushrooms on me, and I gave those to you. I hope you had I don't think I saw you later that night, but I hope you had a great night that night.
If you didn't see me, it might have been. Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah, but yeah, just always putting on the party, always nice guy, always comes up and says hi, which is nice, because a lot of people, there's that like awkwardness of like, oh, should I say hi? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you're always like coming across, say what's up. So just life of the party, man, for sure.
I just want to be like, my thing is like, it's connecting, when I was in that relationship, it was 2 years. I couldn't really do what I wanted to do. And I just felt like I was like in a box. And so since I've been out of that relationship, I've rekindled relationships. I've, hung out with people I haven't seen or been around for a long time. I'm meeting new people. Like when I tell you I sell myself, I'm meeting people left and right. One, for the chance to get to know somebody else. And then two, like I put on shows, I put on events. I want people to come. I want people to feel me and be like, oh yeah, this guy's a vibe. I'll be at the next show. So yeah, I love hanging out. I love being around people, love meeting people, but sometimes, especially DJing, it's like you got to control your energy or protect your energy, because when I DJ, and I heard this on a podcast, like they call people energy vampires.
Yeah.
And that's what happens like at the end of the night for me. Like I am drained, because it's just like I'm putting out the energy, and then so many people are taking so much of it, I have to check it sometimes.
Man, you got to watch our podcast, me talking about EDC, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I saw some wild shit, man. So you got to check that podcast out.
I will.
Yeah, dude. What you said you played a little football and stuff. Was that at the school or just like with the homie? Oh, wow. Nice, man.
Yeah, I played wide receiver there, redshirted for first 2 years, and then played 4 years straight after that. And it was cool. Dillon, Montana is a rough place to play football. When I first got there, and I'm not exaggerating by this at all. When I first got there, our first spring ball, it was still so cold. It was negative 40 degrees, and the wind was blowing. And they had us out there, down there half naked, in the snow. And I'll never forget my coach yelled at me. He was like, stop acting cold, catch the ball. I just thought in my head, because I didn't want to say it out loud, but I was like, I ain't acting cold. Like, are you not cold? And then our camera froze, so we had no footage of practice at all, So yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, don't act cold. My fucking hands don't work.
I was like, yo,
Dude,
this
yeah,
ball,
what do you want me to do?
This ball is a brick.
Well,
Yeah.
I had a coach that if it was cold outside, he'd be like, it's not cold enough, like take layers off. And then if it was hot as hell outside, he'd throw a jacket on for like 5 minutes and be like, I like it like Mississippi hot. This isn't that hot, But yeah, he was always just the same thing, being like, we'd all be dying. He'd be like, oh, you guys think this is hot? This isn't hot. He'd like throw his jacket on. We'd be like, what the hell?
Dude, lunatics.
Yeah.
Yeah, dang. So show tonight, Tree
Yes.
Fort Music Hall.
Tonight, Tree Fort Music Hall, Mushroom 5. The vibes are sure to be immaculate. The energy on 1,000. So if you both get a chance and want to come out, I definitely feel like you should. Mushrooms are encouraged. They're not required. So we're gonna leave that on a broad saying there. But yeah, man, like I said, it's gonna be Boiler Room, and I love everything about the UK. Like I said, so I haven't been able to go there yet. I watch and I study all these DJs through Boiler Room, and so again, if it's not here, I'm gonna create it.
Nice.
And so I've kind of created that scene here. We're gonna set up in the middle of Treefort Music Hall. Once y'all get there, and you've never been yet, your mind's gonna be blown.
Wow,
Best
nice.
venue in Boise, hands down. They have a rooftop called Hap Hap, which I DJ at as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do like a show on Sundays, like every other Sunday, called Vibrant. It's just basically like, again, I like to brunch, and all that's missing from a good brunch day is music and the DJ.
Wow,
you know?
good point.
And I like to party, so we do it from like 7 to 11 at the Hap Hap Lounge. This past one last Sunday was sponsored by Proof Eyewear. So they came, set up their merch, got us a little cage and stuff, and yeah, it was cool. It was a proper vibe. But
That's badass.
tonight, I'm looking forward to it. The 5th one I've thrown, and yeah, it's up.
Nice. Where can people find you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Rakeem_P. And I'll just keep it there. That's where I'm most active on. So RAHKEEM_P on Instagram. I have I'd say it's a pretty cool page. It's very colorful, very vibrant.
Nice.
I like it.
Very vibrant. So yeah.
DJ Rakeem, Rashawn.
Just Rakeem.
Oh, just Rakeem.
Just Rakeem.
Okay, perfect. Where'd that come from?
So my first name is Rashad.
Uh-huh.
My middle name is Akeem.
Oh, wow. Phenomenal.
Yep.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah, so I just merged those two together. And people are always like, wait, do I call you Rashad or do I call you Rakeem? I'm like, either or, to be honest, whatever you remember.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer to both.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
put them together.
Yeah.
Rakeem.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Show starts at 9?
Yeah, show starts at 9. My boy Uncle Mike, he's starting off first. He's a newer DJ in town, or he lives here, but he just got into the scene, and I like to be able to give people that stage. I would have wanted somebody to do that for me, and I like what he does. And then my boy Habibi, Robert. I don't know if you know Robert Semi. He goes by Habibi. He used to do Thursdays at Roddy's. But that's my guy. That's who I got into DJing with. He was already doing it, but he was definitely like a good role model for me to look up to. Any questions, whatever it was that I had, always answers the phone. Like anything that I needed help with, wanted, that guy was there. So I definitely shout him out to a lot of my growth and like where my career is now. Like,
Nice,
I got to pay homage and give flowers where they're due too.
Yeah.
So he's definitely a big part of that. So, and
Nice.
then I go on at 11. Everybody got an hour set. I go at 11. I'm going to take him to the jungle, baby.
Yeah,
Let's
baby.
go.
Nice. Well, thanks so much for coming. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. Thank y'all for having me too.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
When you hit me up, I was like, wait, why me? You know what I mean? So honestly, yeah, why did you decide that y'all wanted to get me on? I'm just curious.
We're just looking for interesting people to talk to, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've listened to your music. I enjoyed it. I enjoy talking to you. Like I said, whenever I see you, you're always a nice guy. And, there isn't a lot of like-minded people in this area, so appreciate having you on the show. And I'm look forward to see you grow in the DJ community and the music world,
I appreciate that. And I
For
appreciate
sure.
y'all. And I love what you're doing with the podcast. It's awesome. And keep it up. And, you got my full support for sure.
Thanks
Nice,
a lot.
man. Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Nice, man. Killer.
Hell yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah.